Hi FlossTube, it's Kara, the Granite State Stitcher, both here on YouTube and on Instagram. If you are new and just happen to come across my channel, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that I somehow inspire you or enable you. And if you are returning, thank you so much. And I apologize that it has been a while since my last video. I think it's 2 months today, February 28th, that I filmed my last one. And, I just need my head examined. I don't know what made me think that I could be filming a video, let alone stitching at all during tax season. Tax season from March 15th to April 15th is just really crazy and hectic. And I didn't have time to do anything. So my apologies for that. So I don't have a lot of stitching to show you today, but I do have a lot of content to share and a lot of catching up to do. So I just wanted to, look, I even have notes, make sure I don't forget anything. So I went to a retreat last weekend. I'll do a recap on that. We have the giveaway winners from the last video, and then haul from the retreat and plans, because I am planning to do a separate video about Mania and also Mirabilia May. I'm going to tackle both of them, so that's going to be exciting. It's almost like when I go through tax season, this happens every year at the end of April and then at the end of October, because of the fact that I don't get to watch any FlossTube, I don't get to stitch, I don't get to, I basically have no life during tax season. So once tax season is over and once that extension deadline is over, then I go crazy in the opposite direction. Like I binge watch all the FlossTubes and I have to go and buy all the, the patterns I didn't get a chance to buy, and I go crazy sometimes. But so that's probably what's going to happen with May. So in March, I did take a trip out to Nebraska. Allie had her school vacation week and I went out to babysit. Josh is still stationed in Wyoming and hasn't been transferred over to Offutt yet. So while I was out there, Allie and I took a trip to Reflections, which is her local L&S shop. Very nice little shop. We had a wonderful time there. And Allie picked up some patterns, which she will show you. And then at the end of the week, we took a trip over to Lincoln and we met up with Terry and Jamie, the Cornhusker State Stitchers, and we met them at Panera with their friend Sarah. And we had lunch and a little stitchy date, and it was so nice to meet up with them. So a shout out to those guys, and I do have something in my haul that I ordered from their shop, so I will show you that. So while I was in Nebraska, Allie and I did a video. I did do a short video with Allie. For those of you who haven't seen Allie since our first video, and it's pretty short. It's about 20 minutes, and I'm going to insert that here and watch the video, because in that video we do spin the wheel for the giveaway. So we do pick the 2 winners for the drawing of the giveaway. So I'm going to insert that video here, and then I will be back with you once that's finished. Hi FlossTube.
Hi.
It's Kara.
And Allie.
And we are the Granite State Stitchers, both here on FlossTube and on Instagram. And welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in to another video. If you are new and just happen to find our channel, thank you so much for taking the time to stop by. We hope you like what you see and stick around and subscribe and hit the like button, all that stuff that YouTubers do. And if you are returning for another video, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. As you can see, I have a different backdrop. We got Barbies and American Girl dolls. We're actually in Allie's space for this video because I am at her house and we are actually sitting on her sewing table and all her craft stuff is on the wall in front of us. So where are we, Allie? What state?
Where in
The last time Allie was on a video, we were in Oklahoma. So Allie's mom has switched bases and she's now stationed at Offutt Air Force Base. And so Allie has switched states, switched schools, but she's still doing a lot of crafting stuff, right, Allie? So I'm here for the week to visit. I'll be leaving in a couple days to head home. I'm actually heading home on St. Patrick's Day, so Allie wanted to dress for the occasion today because I won't be around to celebrate on Sunday. So she's all in green and has her green bow on, and she gave me this necklace to wear. Okay, so I did bring cross stitch stuff with me. Oh, another thing too, stay tuned to the end because we are going to do the giveaway, yes, from the last video. All right, so let's look at some of the, I don't have any finishes, but Allie has a couple of FFOs since the last time that you saw her. So go ahead, Allie, show what you have to start off with. Just what you finished.
I finished this. I remember the last time I didn't finish it.
So here's Allie's. This was on plastic canvas, and she was working on this in our first video that she was in. And it's all finished and framed. And I told her that Grammy wanted to have it,
Yeah,
right?
she was like, better finish it today.
Okay, and you have another finish that you made for Grammy for her work chair. This is not cross stitch related, obviously, but Allie loves to sew pillows. So she made me one that goes right in the back of my chair, and it gives me, not right now, honey, and it gives me a lot of good support back there. So Allie has 2 finishes. All right, so let's go on to whips. All right, so I really don't have a lot to show. I'm sorry, I did not bring a lot with me out here to Nebraska, and the stuff that I did bring, I have hardly touched. So I'll have to make up for that. But I did bring dog sampler with me. And this is by Imaginating Designs. And the last time that I showed this to you, I just finished the red dog house. I just stitched the red dog house. And the only thing I got done on this week is I got the brown roof stitched. So again, not much, but any progress is good progress, right?
Yeah.
And that is being stitched on 18 count antique white Aida with all the called for DMC flosses. And next one I have is Collector's Heart from Heart and Hand, the 2023 Collector's Heart. And that is being stitched on I did have it. Shall we? Oh, it's in this one. I want to say 32 count, 32 count Heartland linen. And I am getting progress on this. The last time I showed this to you, I only had up to the I done. So I did get the J and the K stitched in there. I love this. I love the color of this. I love the color of the fabric. This is a really easy stitch too. I don't know why I don't get more work done on this. And then the last one that I have been working on is my temperature chart. And I finished off February. This was a pattern I got from Fat Quarter Shop. And it's the 2024 temperature cottage chart. And I am doing this one, all the warm temperatures. And we're now into March, and you can see some of the real noticeable color changes on this. Getting into a lot of the lighter colors. You know, you get the blues and the dark blues there in January and February, but now you can see that March has really started to warm up and we're getting more greens in there. So I love stitching on this one too. This one's really fun to stitch on. All right, so that's all I have to show, unfortunately. I do have some other stuff that's non-stitchy related, and we'll show that afterwards. Okay, so what do you have, Miss Allie, for stuff that you're working on? Allie has one whip going on right now. Well, she still has her Pokemon whip, but she hasn't really worked on that too much, right? So why don't you show them the pattern that you got?
This one is Prim Village, and it's so Emma Stitchery. And this one I feel like is really easy, but I'm not doing the whole thing. I'm just doing.
You can't show them the chart, honey. She's just doing one house at a time. So she just got enough of the fabric to stitch one house, right? And she's stitching this on 14 count oatmeal Aida. So she's stepped up from the 7 and 10 count Aida, and now she's starting 14 count. And this is what she has done in a day. So she has the border done, and then she has started the first little Quaker quilt motif at the bottom. And she's doing a really good job on this. Yeah, honey, but we're doing whips right now. So she's doing a really good job on that, and I'm so proud of her. She did that border, and it aligned up perfectly. And like I said, this is her first counted cross stitch using, well, no, I shouldn't say that. The Pokemon one was counted, but using 14 count Aida, so stop that. Okay, now we're going to show you new purchases. You want me to go first? Okay. So we discovered Allie's local needle workshop, and it is called Reflections, and it's here in Nebraska. And so we took a trip over there yesterday to check it out, and it's a really cute little shop. So I was able to pick up some patterns that I saw were at market and were on my radar. I didn't do any pre-orders because I knew that would be dangerous to do, but I did pick up a couple things that I did see on a couple people's websites when they were doing their market reviews. So the first ones that I picked up were Any Tiny Town and More Any Tiny Town by Heart and Hand. Of course, everybody loves the tiny towns. And then I picked up this combination. It's Stars and Stripes, and this was a collaboration between Plum Street and Shakespeare's Peddler, Paulette Stewart and Teresa Vanette. And so here's Stars and Stripes. So those will be really pretty. So those will be fun to stitch up.
They go together?
They go together, Stars and Stripes. And then I picked up Teresa Kogert's Simple Life. Love that. And that's what I picked up. So what'd you get?
I got a.
She did pick up the Prim Village there yesterday and started it last night when we got home.
I got one from Satsuma Street, and it is a dog park. And I thought it was the person there at Reflection showed it to me, and I was like, yeah, I really like that.
That's cute.
And I haven't gotten any started. But I think I'm gonna start this
show her
today.
the fabric you got.
This is the fabric for it. I thought it was like that she
This
recommended
is
it.
14 count Yorkshire driftwood. Haven't seen this fabric before. It's almost like a raw linen. Oh, that's pretty true to color. And she got the matching Ada flosses to go with it. You're going to start that one today? Oh, okay. Before we know it, Allie will have a huge whip pile going. And which one is this?
This one is the one you got.
This one you got for Christmas.
With the new bag.
And we got this from Keepsakes when they were having the special, right? Mm-hmm. So it came with the bag, which was made by Aunt Shelley Fry from Antique Needleworkers.
I got this little matching bag.
Yep, and it came with a little accessories bag. So cute.
And this was the pattern.
And of course, we had the pattern, which was designed by Georgia Girl Stitching. Don't show that one yet. And this, of course, was designed especially for Keepsakes. And it is the Welcome Home pattern. And then what else do you have?
The
Snow Globe, a Mill Hill kit. So she has a couple all ready to go. And then you got this.
I got this mat.
So it's a Harry Potter stitching mat.
And these didn't come with them, but I have Slytherin scissors.
So she has her scissors in there. And then she has, this is an Ort keeper.
And
it came with a scissor fob. Yeah, and a little needle, felt needle minder. So it just rolls up when she wants to go somewhere. And tomorrow we may be going on a stitchy date, right?
Yeah.
We're hoping to meet up with Terry and Jamie tomorrow, the Cornhusker State Stitchers, for an afternoon of stitching. So we'll see. Okay. So I think that's it for Stitchy progress, right?
Yeah.
So what else have you been working on? Knitting? So Allie wanted to learn how to knit. Whoops, you got. So she is working on what?
Scarf.
A scarf for her dolls. And unfortunately, those were the only knit needles we had handy. So it's a rather large stitch, but that's fine because she's just starting out and she's just learning. And I do have the sweater that I've been working on for her. So I did finish up the back. Sorry, it's rolling up there on me. So the back is all done. And we started on one of the front panels. And this is so cute because it has this vine-like stitch going up the side of it. Good job. She's blocking out the sunlight. We have a huge window right there. So this is coming along. I have been working on this every night. So that's been taking this place of my cross stitch. I was hoping to get this finished while I was here so it wouldn't be coming back home with me, but unfortunately it's coming back home with me. So I think that's it for everything I've been working on. What about you?
I think that's it, but we can.
Oh, all right. So we did get some things. We are going to do a small doll patchwork quilt.
Harry Potter.
And it's going to be Harry Potter. So we picked up some Harry Potter squares of fabric, which we're going to make the patchwork out of.
And then we got these. And these for the just blank.
The backing or to fill in. The colors of the houses, right? In Harry Potter.
These.
The backing.
And then this big thing.
Yeah, big thing of black.
And then this is the thing.
Yeah, with black thread. So I think this is what we're going to be working on this afternoon, getting this started. Or you can even have it as a wall hanging. We'll see. Okay. So put that back over there. You think it's time for the drawing? I agree. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So on the last video, I had said that we were going to do a drawing because we reached 200 subscribers. So yeah, we'll see. So we have God Bless America, and the keyword for this one was barn. And then we had Live on a Little. Oh, and this was by Artful Offerings. And then we had Plum Street, Live on a Little.
Word is little.
And the keyword is little. That's right, Allie. That's a pretty thick one. Must be a big pattern. All right. So we have put the names on a wheel. And I'm gonna let Allie spin. And we're gonna do barn first. All right, so see where it says spin? Press that.
Nobody knows.
And who won?
Nobody wanted to click that one. So we're gonna try again.
It landed on space. It didn't have any names.
Lila K.
Lila K, 2002. Lila K, you have won
the barn.
the barn. So please send me your name or your address and last name. I'm assuming Lila is your first name. And I will get that out to you as soon as I get back to New Hampshire. So the next one is Little. I guess next time I'll have to eliminate the empty spaces, right? Okay, and it is Agneta Loof 728. Congratulations! You're the winner of the Live on Little Plum Street Sampler. Okay, so if both of you can please email me at granitestatestitchers, gmail.com, and and please send me your addresses. I will get those sent out to you. So thank you so much for entering the giveaway drawing. So not a very long sampler, not a very long video this time. So we're going to be working on the quilt this afternoon, and then tomorrow, hopefully meeting up for a stitching date, and then Sunday after church, I'm gonna be heading back to New Hampshire. And Allie, you have school again on Monday, right? She's so excited. All right, well, that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we will catch you the next time around. Allie probably won't be with me, but we'll make sure that she does another cameo spot at some time along the line. Right, Allie? Maybe we can figure out how to do a half screen. Mommy would have to record it though. Yeah. So thank you so much for tuning in and happy stitching. Bye-bye. Bye. So isn't Allie doing a good job? I'm so proud of her. She started the Satsuma Street pattern cross stitch on her own. I didn't even help her with that. She knows how to hide her stitch in the back. She does her loop start. She just took to the counting cross stitch like that, the 14 count Ada. And my daughter says that she either sits on the couch and stitches on it every night, or she brings it into her bed with her and sits there in bed and stitches a little before she goes to sleep. So it would not surprise me if my 9-year-old granddaughter has a finish on one of her projects before I have a finish on any of mine. It'll happen. Watch. It will. Okay, I'm back. Oh, look, there's Foxy over there. Hopefully I don't have to stop this. For some reason, my dog Marley has been on this barking kick. She hears a truck drive by and she'll start barking, or she sees a squirrel outside and she'll start barking. It's been driving me crazy. Okay, so I do have some whips to show you, and this is basically because I took these with me to the retreat last week and I was able to work on them. So first up is my 2024 cottage temperature chart, and I'm so far behind on this. I'm embarrassed to even show you, but it is what it is. So this is from Backwater Shop, and I'm doing the higher temperatures. And I was keeping up with this. Until April hit. And I just got behind. So I do have, I did get all of March finished. So January, February, March. The only thing I have for April so far is just the roof of the house. Pitiful, right? But I got to get back on track with that. A lot of the warmer temperatures starting to come in, a lot of the greens, the light greens. So it is warming up. They said it was going to be 70 here today, but I don't think it's 70. It's still, but it has been warm. It's been warm during the days. Still in the 30s and 40s at night, which is fine. And we did have, I think it was the first week of April, we did have a winter storm, a winter snowstorm. It was, you're just not expecting that in April. And it was the wet, heavy snow. We hadn't had that snow all winter. We just were, when we did get snow, it was the light, fluffy stuff. And this was the wet, heavy snow. And I was sitting here working, and all of a sudden I heard this crack. And I look out, and my deck was collapsing right out the slider here. I'll insert a picture of what it looks like. And my poor dogs, they were outside on the deck, and one of them was able to jump back in, through the slider, come back in. The other two ran back down, to the backyard. And poor Foxy, my little Pomeranian, the deck is slowly, slanting, like pulling away from the house, and she's out there clawing her way, trying to get up to the top. And then she got up to the top of the deck, and then she was so scared to death she wouldn't move. And I went down, I had run down and come out through the basement because I thought I was going to have to catch her, as the deck was falling. And she made her way up to the top, and she just wouldn't move. She was so petrified. I was calling her and she wouldn't come down the stairs. So I had to go get some food and bribe her. And then finally she came down the stairs into the backyard. But that's all gone now. They've already, torn it apart. And the insurance claim adjuster's been out, that whole bit. So that should work on that should be getting started hopefully next weekend. But we'll see. So yeah, I'm getting a new deck this year. And really, the other deck was on its last legs. So everything happens for a reason, right? Okay, so the next thing that I have, and this was supposed to be my smalls exchange for the retreat, and I didn't get it done. Wah wah. Honey Fair by October House. And it's not like this was a hard stitch, because it wasn't. It's an easy stitch. I just didn't have the time. So I am stitching this on 30 count parchment with all the called for floss. And oh, I'm sorry, the other one, my temperature chart is just on a 25 count Lugana that I had in my stash. So oh, I got my needle hanging there. Sorry. Oh, it would help if I showed you the right side. You can't fix stupid, folks. Okay, so last time I showed this to you, I don't think I had all this green. I think I just started it here. So I did get the rest of the green in. My next step is to start the B-scape. So yeah, maybe I'll get it done in time for another retreat, hopefully, which I will talk about in plans. So that's Honey Fair. Whoops. And so these next whips I'm going to show you, the only reason that I did get stitching done on these is because I took them to the retreat with me last weekend. So I did get stitching time accomplished, which I was very happy about. And so the first one is Baby Dragon. This is a stitch-along that was started for the Chinese New Year, February 10th. And this Sal is being sponsored by Erica from Fibers and Floss Canada and Samantha, the Yuga Stitcher. And it's the year of the dragon, and I'm doing a baby dragon. And I'm still, oh, I'll tell you something, that's a lot of fill-in. So I finished this cloud right here. And when I look at that in comparison, like the big picture of the whole project, that's a lot of background stitching. So here it is, my cloud. So at least now I get to start on a different color, which is good. But I really need to devote some time to this. Well, to all my projects, I guess, but this is one that I'm stitching for Allie, so I really need to get this done. Then the next one I worked on was 1 Quakers. And this is a Sal being sponsored by the Sunshine State Stitchers. And I'm behind on this one too. Oh, such is my life. Oh, I don't know what that is. But I am almost done with this first Quaker. I got a lot done at the retreat. So I only had to finish right here. See how you got this motif? I need to put one here and then one here. And is there anything in the middle of the heart? Yes, and there's another motif in the middle there. So almost done with the first one. And I like, I have discovered that I like stitching Quakers. This one's fun, and what is the other one that Quaker Christmas that I started at Christmas time. So those are fun. Let's see. Sorry, I almost feel like I'm out of practice in filming a video. Baby Dragon is stitched on 16 count white Aida with all the called for DMC, and 1 Quakers is being stitched on 28 count mushroom Lagana, and those are all the week's dye works called for. So the next one that I took with me was the letter A by Nora Corbett. And this one I'm stitching for Allie, and I got quite a lot done on this. I am stitching this on, I believe this is a 28 count too. Oh, nope, 32 count water lily. So the last time I showed this to you, I had just started her shoulders. So I stitched her arms and went down her dress. So this is coming along. Another one that I want to get finished so Allie can hang it in her room. Whoops, sorry about that. At her new house. And then last but not least, we have the 2023 Collector's Heart by Heart and Hand. And this is being stitched on, oh, let's see, where is this? Whoops. 32 count Heartland linen. And the name of the floss is Cottage Garden Threads. Leather bound. And you saw this in the video you just watched with Allie. I had just gotten over to the K and I had the top part of this heart done. So I filled it in, finished doing the border around it, and then started heading over with the next motif. And I love the variegation in this floss. It really does look like an old leather bound book. So those are my whips. And hopefully next time I see you, I will have a lot more to show. But I do have another whip that's not stitching related. You saw this in the video with Allie too. It is the sweater that I'm working on. And you saw the back. And just to hold it up again. Just has the ribbing down at the bottom. The one thing I love about this pattern is, do you see this? It's almost like an open chain pattern that is going along where the armholes, where the arms are going to be attached. And the arms have that same, all right, so here's the front panel that I was working on in Nebraska and I finished it. But you can see that the arms along the front panel where they're going to connect have that same chain pattern. So here is the one that I was stitching on. I finished this one. And so you can see kind of the pattern. It's like a vine pattern, a trellis pattern. I don't know what they call it. But then I have the second side started. I think you can see it better here on the needle. And I am trying to get this finished. Not that she's going to be able to wear it within the next few months because we're heading into summer and she'll have to hold on to it till winter. But I do want to get this finished so that I can pick up the Inishman Irish cape that I'm doing for my daughter-in-law that I have not worked on in quite a while. And I really need to get back to that. So those are my whips. Okay, so let's talk about the retreat. It was the Library Stitches retreat, and it was held up in Augusta, Maine. And it was sponsored by, a group of stitchy friends. A couple of them are FlossTubers, 2 needles pulling thread, Missy and Kathy, and B&E Stitchery, Brandy and Emma. And some of their friends, and I'm sorry, I don't know everybody's name, and I apologize, but they call themselves the Library Stitchers. And they put on such a fabulous retreat. It was held at a function hall right there in Augusta, the Calumet Club, and they did such a fabulous job. It was 150 people, so it was just the right size. And there were some people that, that didn't come. I noticed that there was probably maybe 10 or a dozen name tags still on the table on Saturday. So there was a handful of people that weren't able to make the retreat. So there were definitely some empty seats, but it was just the right size. And the vendors and the trunk shows were set up around the perimeter of the room. There was plenty of space to walk and look at things. Lunch and dinner was served right there in the same spot, so you didn't have to leave and go out, to grab lunch or dinner, which of course takes time. So there was a lot of time devoted to stitching if that's all you want to do. But of course, you get up and you're walking around and you're meeting people, and just such a friendly environment. And everybody's so welcoming. And let me tell you something, this was my first retreat. Okay, so I didn't know what to expect. And I got there late. I woke up Friday morning with a migraine. So I was even contemplating, oh, well, do I drive up there? Because I commuted. I didn't go up and stay because I live on the seacoast, New Hampshire. It's an hour and 35-minute drive. So, no big deal to shoot up there. But, I was like, oh, I'm going to get there late. I'm going to miss all the opening stuff, whatever. So, but I still wanted to go. So once I was able to get my headache under control, I drove up. I got there right before lunch. I think it was like 11:30, 11:45, and lunch was at noon. And I I was just by myself. I didn't have anyone I was going with. Um, yes, I knew that I would see familiar faces from watching FlossTubers, but I didn't know anyone personally who was going to be there. And so I walked in and I'm just standing there because obviously there was nobody at the registration table because everybody else had already arrived. And immediately, I think I was standing there maybe 10 seconds, and immediately Emma came walking up to me. Hi, how are you? Are you just getting here? What's your name? So friendly. Okay, let's find you a seat. And she took me, around. She helped me find a table that, had open seats available. And I sat down, and immediately everybody at my table was like, hi, how are you? I'm so and so, I'm so and so. It was just such a friendly, welcoming environment. And the night that we were leaving, so the retreat was Friday and Saturday. And the night that we were leaving, two of the women that I had been talking with, for the 2 days, both of them said to me that they almost didn't come to the retreat. One said that, she even went so far as to get there and not wanting to get out of her car because of the fact that she didn't know anybody. And the same with the other one. She was like, I almost didn't come, I almost just didn't leave my house, and she only lives a half hour away. Don't let either the fear of the unknown or one of them said that she's just very shy and hard to meet. It makes her nervous, to meet new people. Don't let that stop you because both of these women said that they were so happy that they did get out of their cars, that they did leave their houses, and that they came to the retreat. So if you are going to a retreat by yourself, just do it because you may not know anyone in person when you get there, but you will know so many people when you leave. Um, and people just walking around and handing out gifts that they had made and talk, and the people at my table, you're sitting there and you're stitching, but you're talking about your pets, you're talking about your vacations, you're talking about other floss tubers that you watch. You're all there with that same thing in common, you're there because you love cross stitching. So believe me, even if you don't know anybody, you already have something in common with everybody else in that room. So definitely, if you get the opportunity to go to a retreat, definitely do it. Definitely do it. You'll be glad that you did. So funny thing, this was the only retreat that I had officially gotten into so far this year. Every place else, I was late getting registered. I was on the wait list. Typical me, late to the party. And now I am going to 5 other retreats this year, which will probably be retreat overload. I got into StitchCon. And good thing I checked my email because, again, during tax season, I never check my personal email that often because I'm too busy dealing with my business email. And I went over, it was April, right before the retreat. So it had to have been April 16th or 17th, 1 or 2 days after the 15th. And I click onto my personal email and I see this invoice from StitchCon. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I opened up the email and I was taken off the waiting list and got into weekend B. So, how exciting is that? I'm going to, in May, there's one here in New Hampshire. Oh, I can never remember what it is. Anyway, it's in Nashua. I'll link it below. I always forget because I want to say it's Creative Needleworks, but that's not what it is. Anyway, I'm going to that one in Nashua, and that one I'm just going to drive to every day. That's for 4 days. And they have workshops at that one. So I have signed up for a couple of workshops. And then I'll be going to Farm Girl Dry Goods Retreat with Teresa Vanette, Stitch New England Retreat. And then there's another one in the fall. So I went from going to one retreat to now going to 5 or 6 retreats. So even if they say that the retreat is full, definitely get your name on the waiting list because you never know, slots will open up. Obviously, slots have opened up in all these retreats that I signed up for. Because with the way that the retreats are, obviously, once registration opens, you register just to get your name in there. Even if it's a year away or 6 months away, and things change, and they know that. That's why they take wait lists. So definitely do that if you're thinking about going to a retreat. So we were gifted with goodie bags, and these were handmade. So cute, so cute. If you're from Maine, you love moose. And of course, it was filled with all sorts of goodies. Now, there's a pattern that was not in my bag that everybody got. It was a Helen D pattern, and Emma is sending it to me. Somehow, they just missed my bag when they were stuffing them. And if you go on to, let's say, the New England Stitcher, 2 Cross Stitchers, they, in fact, Mary Lou from 2 Cross Stitches has finished hers. And it's it has moose mane. It was a pattern that was designed specifically for the retreat by Helen D. And Helen D has hers finished. So even if you go to her FlossTube, she has it finished in a pillow and she can show it to you. So I'm waiting for that to come. And we also had 2 other patterns in our bag. And actually 3. Of course, we have Elizabeth and Fitzwilliam from Pride and Prejudice, because it was the library Stitchers Retreat. And then we had another one by Finally a Farm Girl, and this is it. It's a little raccoon with books next to it, a little mouse on a tomato pincushion, cup of hot cocoa, it looks like, or coffee on the little side table. So that one's cute. Then Julie Moose Designs had this pattern. And she had a table there. She was one of the vendors. She actually does designs where if you want to send her a photograph, she can do a design for you, but she also does her own designs. And she had some of the wood die cuts. I do have one of her needle minders. And okay, so what else did we get? So we had these library floss cards. Aren't those cute? And again, some more floss cards with some floss. Greetings from Cape Cod. So, little needle case. A bookmark. Library sticker. Main library retreat needle minder. I lost the back of this needle minder. That's all right, it must be in here somewhere. Another little needle minder. Floss bling. Little charm. I got a lobster. Some people got lighthouses. Some people got the state of Maine. And then a key fob that has Maine on it. This is the backing material to the pattern that's being sent to me. Again, and the material in people's bags varied. Some people had Maine material, some people had crabs, some people had pine trees, you know, whatever related to the state of Maine. Then we got this beautiful, I haven't taken mine out of the bag yet, but it is a pattern stand and it's metal. So you can use magnets to hold your pattern up and it folds flat and it doesn't take up a lot of space. A lot of people had these, were using them on their tables and it's very compact, very compact. So, and then we got, and of course people were walking around handing stuff out. I won this pattern as a door prize. So cute. Oops. And oh, I think this is probably the back to this one. And then Brandy and Emma had their own needle minders from B&E Stitchery with a little squirrel on there because Brandy loves squirrels. Then I got this needle minder from the Julie Moose from her table. She had, they're so cute. And it's fabric, like in a little tiny hoop. And Stephanie, the New England Stitcher, she had needle minders, which were all cute. Carol Smulligan, now this is so adorable. She made this out of a bottle cap. and it's a needle minder, but it has little pins in it. And then somebody had made counting pins and was walking around handing those out. So people are so talented and crafty in the things that they come up with that they were handing out. You know, some more needle bling. That's the original Maine state flag. And then it has a Maine charm and stork scissors. I mean, just adorable. And then the vendors that they had there, they had, oh, I'm not even going to remember. They had the Proper Stitcher, Sweet Wing Studio, the Camping Stitcher, so many trunk shows. I mean, I'm sorry, those were trunk shows. So many, I can't even remember them all. Then they had vendors. Um, let's see, Tracy of OG Stitchery had project bags that she had made, and the Crafty Grimalkin was there, Reese, and she had brought a bunch of stuff. And of course, Stephanie had her table, and the Julie Moose had their table. And I got this from Stephanie. I got one of her small Whipakipas. And of course, her keepers are so cute. You know, you got your needle here, you got your thread bed, you get a card. You know, you can write down your project. You have two pockets, which I already have a project in here. And then of course the zipper part, and she has her little logo here with her little tag. Just so good. Such fine quality. Um, I need to get in touch with her, so I want to order a large one too. And I think that she's the one that did these needle minders, um, you know, for Brandy and Emma. And I'm guessing that she did the main ones too, you know, because she's just so talented and she can do all that woodcraft stuff. So I need to get in touch with her and see if I can hire her to make me some needle minders. You know, staff, if you're watching, you know, once school gets over, you have some free time on your hand, although I don't think you ever have any free time, but we got to talk. So then I got some patterns. Emily Call, she had a trunk show there. America 1776. And I just love this one. Blooming Medley. Not that I needed any more patterns. I was going through my patterns yesterday. I can't even fit any more in my bin. It's just stuffed. And then this is from Finally a Farm Girl, Autumn Blessings. Isn't that nice? That's going to be a sweet stitch. And the Camping Stitcher, the Blessing Sampler 2024. And Chris, I was so disappointed that you weren't there. I went up to Emma and I said, "Oh, can you, you know, show me the Camping Stitcher and take me to the Camping Stitcher?" And she took me to your trunk show. And I said, "No, I want to meet her. Is she here?" And Emma said, "No, that you hadn't come." So I was so disappointed. So Chris, I love your patterns, and I hope that you do make it to one of these retreats someday. And I got some fabric because, of course, you have to get fabric. It's so much different when you're there in person and you can touch and look at the fabric and feel it. And there are um, there were fabrics there that I have not stitched on before. So this is from Barefoot Needle Arts, and this is called Sea Mist, and this is actually for Allie. I did a FaceTime chat with Allie while I was there, so she could see what was going on, and I let her choose some fabric. And this is probably getting washed out. It's like a blue. It's called Sea Mist, so it's a blue with a little bit of gray modeling in it. So that's going to Allie's house. And then I got some Atomic Ranch, which I've heard a lot about, but I have not stitched on Atomic Ranch. So I got some of their fabric, And this is called Sequoia. Isn't that gorgeous? This is 28 count. It's a green. It looks gray there, but it's a green. Will it show up better if I hold it up closer? No, but this is a green. And then this is called Campfire Smoke. And that's a light gray. So that's showing up pretty good. And then this one is called Golden Harvest. And I had already entered this on my spreadsheet. I keep a spreadsheet of all my flosses and my fabrics so that when I'm kitting stuff up, I can just go to the spreadsheet and know, okay, this is what I have for fabric, this is what I have for floss. And so I got this piece of, it's called Golden Harvest. It's a 32 count. And I actually was kitting up a project last night that called for Golden Harvest, and I could not find it anywhere. I'm like, why is it on my spreadsheet? I don't have it. Well, it was in my haul pile that I wanted to show for this video. And this is really pretty. You can't see the modeling in it too well, but. And then Light Euphoria. And this is a light blue-green color. But isn't that pretty? So I think that's it for my haul. I think that's it for this video. But like I said, please, if you get a chance to go to a retreat, I hope they do this again next year. Like I said, it was so nice. It was close by, an hour and a half drive, and it was small. So it was really cozy. And so I did want to let you know who the other floss tubers that were there are. B&E Stitchery, who are Brandy and Emma. They were part of the coordinators of the retreat. DM's Crafty Vortex, Dawn Marie. And I was talking with Dawn Marie, and in her last video, she had said that she was going to start a chatelaine pattern for this year. That was going to be her New Year's start. So I caught up with her and asked her if she had started that chatelaine, and she said no, that she'd start a new job, and work gets in the way of everything. And so I told her, I said, well, I would love to try a chatelaine. So I'm going to order one. Hopefully, I can get everything within 6 months. There's a company, there's a website. If you contact them, I'll put them down in the show notes too. But they will actually kit everything up for you, because I guess the Glorianas are hard to find. Of course, you get the beads and then the pattern and the fabric and everything. So they do everything for you, but it can take anywhere from 6 months to a year. So hopefully I can get it before January 1st, and we'll do a sale together starting January 1st of 2025. So that'll be exciting. And of course, it saves you money by having them do it, because you're not paying postage, for, okay, you order this from this place, you order the beads from this place, you order this floss from here, you order the fabric from here. They'll do everything for you. So it is more cost effective that way. 2 cross stitchers, Mary Lou and Amy. It was such a joy meeting them. In fact, it won't be next Saturday, but the following Saturday, I'll be heading over to Salem, New Hampshire to meet up with them. They do a little cross stitching at their Panera on the second Saturday of the month. So I'm going to head over there and stitch with them and their group of ladies. Helen D, what a joy it was to meet her. If you haven't watched any of her videos, go check her out. Her finishing techniques are great. She made these cute little bead boxes for her table mates, and she gives a demonstration on how she did that. And she's just a very nice person. Marissa from Makissa Creations. She was also a joy to meet. Go check out her FlossTube. She has a lot going on. She has very diversified tastes, so she has a lot going on her floss tube. Stephanie, the New England Stitcher, you can't say enough about Stephanie. You know, if I only had an ounce of this girl's energy, honest to God, I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she does it. She was just, I just watched her latest floss tube, and, she said that she did get some stitching done. I don't know when. I don't think I ever saw her sitting down. She was always just bebopping all over the place. And, I just, even when she's at home, I know that she sews and she does other crafty things. She does her little wood crafts. And I don't know, Stephanie. I don't know how you do it. The bougie stitchers were there. Jenny and Nancy, they made the trip up to Maine. The Boss Stitchers, Jane and Chris, I've been watching them forever, and they're right down in Boston, so it was very nice to meet them. Shelley and Justine, welcome to Whips and Sips. Go check out their channel. Jackie of Jack's Creative Inspirations. Now, Jackie, again, I told you I got there late on Friday, the first day of the retreat, and Jackie had specially made these Library Stitchers floss rings, and I did not get one because I got there late, and everybody was showing this. I'm like, oh, I didn't get one. So I reached out to her. Now she's from Seattle, I believe. She made the trip from Seattle with her daughter. I believe it's her daughter. And, I reached out to her. I'm like, oh, I said, would you mind sending me one? I'll pay for the postage. It's my fault that, I got there late. And she's so nice. And she's like, oh, of course not. I'll send one to you. But again, another very creative person. So definitely check her out. Tracy of OG Stitchery. I recognized her immediately when I went in because I watched her floss tubes. Two Needles Pulling Thread, of course, Kathy and Missy. Thank you so much, ladies, for everything that you did for this retreat. Thank you for all the library stitchers for everything that you did for this retreat. It was such a success. I heard nothing but good things, and everybody's hoping that you'll do it again next year. Teresa, the Garden Goose Stitcher, was there. Alicia, the Fanciful Flamingo, was there. She made the trip up from Florida. And Sarah, the Northwood Stitcher. Now, Sarah was at my table, and I love Sarah. I've been watching her floss tube anyway because you just need to check her out. Her craft room, she doesn't even know herself what's in her craft room. And all you see behind her is like boxes over here and stacks over here. And I think that you would be like a little kid hunting for secret treasure if you ever went into her craft room. She and the finds, she is great at, she'll find something at the dump or she'll find something at a secondhand store. Um, she and her husband, oh my gosh, Sarah, we should all have husbands like your husband. Her husband like goes onto the DMC website and buys her stuff or tells her that she needs to get this kit or she needs to. Wow, what, a husband who was like so into cross stitching and supportive of what she does, her craft. It's like unbelievable. But anyway, so she was at my table, and if you watch her videos, she comes across as very, serene and quiet, and she does her. Let me tell you something. She is a hoot. She is a riot. She's funny. Um, we immediately hit it off. She's going to Germany right now to visit her daughter. And when she gets back, we're going to get together. We're going to take a trip to the Crafty Grimalkin up in Bangor because neither one of us has been to Reese's new store yet. So we're going to take a road trip. She wants me to spend the night at her house, do a video together. So we'll see about doing that. And she's just a riot. Definitely go check her out. Sarah, the Northwood Stitcher. Okay. So, like I said, I am planning on doing Mania and also Mirabilia May. So I think that what I'm going to do, and I'm going to just do a totally separate video on this. So I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a theme for Mania. I want to have a patriotic theme because stuff is happening around the house. The new deck is being built. The basement is getting redone. My craft room is finally going to be finished. And the front hallway, everything that has been pulled out of the living room, aka new craft room, is now in the front hallway. You know, it's still in my kitchen, my dining room. It's all over the place. So once everything gets pulled back out of the front hallway and gets put back where it belongs, I want my front hallway to be my patriotic themed, you know, the wall space out there. That's where my kids' military pictures are. They were already out there in the hallway. So I have been putting together kits. I've pulled all the patriotic patterns out of my stash and added some that I just purchased this year. And I'm kitting them all up and I'm going to put them on a wheel. And so every day I'll spin the wheel and I will see what comes up and I will at least get it started. So I want to do 31 new patriotic starts for May. That way at least they're started and I'll have them in my whip pile, and you know, as soon as I finish, you know, a patriotic piece out of my rotation, I can slip one in. If it's specifically themed, like for 4th of July, I'll pull it out and work on it on the 4th of July, or, you know, during the month of June or July, whatever. And then I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do for Mirabilia May. I don't know if I want to do, because there are, what, 5 weeks in May this year? Or I think they're, well, May 1st starts in the middle of the month, right? What the heck is on my phone? So if I look at May, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, there's 4.5 weeks. So, or five, May 1st is on a Wednesday. So there are 5 Wednesdays in May. So I can either choose 5 Mirabilia patterns and start one each Wednesday, or I can do 4 and stitch on each one for 10 days. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. I still have Stargazer out there that I did start for leap year, a leap year start. Oh no, I'm sorry. Dutch Beauty is my leap year start along with my long dog. And those starts were so pitiful. I noticed I didn't even show them in my whips. Stargazer was my start for Fancy Lady February. And I'm not going to put her in the rotation for Mania. But in keeping with the patriotic theme, there is one Mirabilia lady that I am going to be stitching on starting May 1st. And that's the hint. And I'm sure you can guess which one it is. So I'm also going to start Mother's, let's see, the Mother Sampler. That's not the name of it. You'll see it. I'm going to start that on Mother's Day. So that's about it. Okay. Sorry about that. I had to go get this. So as I mentioned, I had ordered something from Terry and Jamie's Etsy shop. It's Heartland Quilting and Stitching, but I think the Etsy shop itself, their link is Heartland Quilt Stitch. But I'll have that listed in the link below. So every year at the end of May into the first week of June, I go away for a quilt retreat. And that's coming up. I think this year it starts May 31st and goes to June 6th or something. It's a week. So I saw this. Terry had actually stitched this and had this hanging behind her in one of her videos. So this is a quilt pattern called Tileworks. And it's very cool. And I mean, some of these fabrics are gorgeous. They're gorgeous. I mean, look at that. And you can't see the richness of the red in this. And the same thing with the green. There's a whole, you know, we got a whole bunch of different colors here. And then the backing is this fabric. So that was part of my haul, and I can't wait to work on this when I go away on that quilt retreat. So I know that some of you are also quilters, you know, or sewers, seamstresses. So I just wanted to show that to you also as part of my haul. And don't forget, if you were one of the winners of the giveaways, God Bless America sampler. This was Lila K 2002, and then Plum Street, Live on Little. And I'm not going to try to pronounce your name. I will list both your names down in the notes, but please get in touch with me. You know, send me an email. Please verify that you're over 18 so that you can send me your address, and I will get these sent out to you. And I apologize again that it's taken me so long to get back to you on these. Okay, so that's it. Have a nice weekend. Enjoy the warm weather if you're living in an area that's finally getting spring, and happy stitching. Till next time, bye.